this is Tampa Tech, and learn something new from PC, TVs, and gaming too. Let's get it started.
Hi, this is Tampa Tech. I'm going to show you how to fix an Xbox 360 controller. If you spill juice or soda in your buttons, and these buttons are sticky or are getting stuck, this is how to fix it. Also, if you threw the controller at the wall and you busted the controller because you have game rage, alright, this is also how you fix it. I'm going to show you the screwdrivers you're going to need. You're going to need, this is about like a 2mm screwdriver. It's a mini screwdriver, flathead. Alright, and you actually use that to open up the Xbox 360 controller. Or what you really should use is the star-shaped torque screwdriver. It's TH8 or T8H, I believe. It's security keys. It's like a security screw that holds everything up inside in here, and they don't want you to really get into it, so there's, I don't know if you can see that, there's like a pin in the center of the screw preventing you stick a regular screwdriver in there and unscrewing it. Alright, so if you look at this screwdriver, it's a special torque it looks like a star-shaped screwdriver, and it has a hole in the middle. So you're going to need that, but if you don't have that, you can use a mini screwdriver. It works also. It's just more of a pain in the ass to like get in there. You have to push really hard, and then you have to do it in a certain angle. But just to show you that it works. Come on. Come on. Come on. Boom. Works. See? So it does work. It's just more of a nightmare for you to like take apart. So I'm going to show you basically what screws you're going to take off. You're going to take off this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and one up here. After you do that, you want to pop this open right here and just get a flathead screwdriver. Face the controller downward, okay? Always face the controller downward. The button's gonna fly everywhere and piss you off. Alright, and here's the motors for the vibration. Alright, so flip that upside down like so. Alright, next thing you're gonna need is rubbing alcohol. Don't drink this, you'll die. Alright, just pour that on the Q-tip. Alright. Don't put too much on, because if you put too much on and you put the controller back together and it's still wet inside, you want to make sure everything's dry, or else the buttons aren't going to work right. Alright, so make sure everything's dry at the end before you put it back together. Just clean all the contacts basically. Anywhere you see a contact, just go ahead and clean. Alright, and right about here. Inside here, if you want to clean that, you use electronic spray at Radio Shack, and you spray it in there and then just move it around. This one too, spray it in there and move it around. That's electronic spray at Radio Shack. And these buttons right here, you don't necessarily, if you want to take this back board off, there's a way to do it. There's just tension springs right here. The plastic, white plastic, you see where my thumbs are? You lift those up and pull the board out. But you don't necessarily have to do that. There's also white tabs up here. And there's another one right here in the corner, and this corner as well. But you don't necessarily have to do that. I don't recommend doing that unless you really have to. You could pour electronic spray. Just spray electronic spray in here, and then go like that with the button. Electronic spray in this one too, and go like that with the button. Should fix it just fine without taking that board off. Alright, next thing you want to do is put that to the side. Alright. And take this piece off right here. This piece right here, a lot of times, depends on how hard you're pressing the buttons. If you're pressing the buttons really hard, a lot of times this plus-shaped plastic piece, where it has to line up where it hits this button right here. Alright, if it doesn't line up, it's probably caused due, like it's bent or crushed or smushed. And to reshape it, you just take needle nose pliers and then squeeze and reshape it that way. Okay? And just like that. And this one as well. You don't do it too hard. This is really fragile. It's only plastic, so don't mess it up. Alright, so now it should work just fine. Okay. So now when you put it back on, you want to make sure you put it back on the same way. Just go like the U shape. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like that. Basically, put it on just like that. Make sure it goes in the pin behind it. If it doesn't sit right, you're not going to be able to put the controller back together. Alright, so now we're going to clean this other contacts. So here's more contacts right here. Just twist it and twist there, twist there. See, it's getting like a lot dirty right there. It's getting a lot more dirty. And clean all these, clean that and that and that. Take this off. Take that off. You can take off this, D-pad right here using a mini screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver. That'll come off. But you don't really necessarily have to do that unless it's getting stuck. If it's getting stuck, you just actually on the other side of here, you can just pour electronic spray around it and just move it around. And that should be alright. They'll break up the juice or whatever is in there. But if it's still getting stuck, you might have to take it apart. Alright, so what you really should do is, this is how, like, if the button's getting stuck or it's working slow and you're like playing Gears of War, see if you can tell it's really dirty right there, and you're playing Gears of War and you're losing the chainsaw battles, this is probably why, because the button's not popping up fast enough. Or maybe you just suck, I don't know. But this actually help you. And you can see how dirty it is. So that's causing resistance from the button popping back up faster. It only goes in one way, by the way, so you can't really mess that up. Right there. And let's get the other one. Come on. There we go. Just clean that. Now here's the thing. This is not necessarily good enough right there. So you also want to make sure you clean on the inside as well. So if it's still getting stuck, then I would take it back apart and just clean on the inside right here. And that should do it. See, it's getting really dirty right now. So do that with all the buttons. Even the buttons that aren't sticking, I would still do it too. And then this one only goes one way. So you want to clean this one as well. Alright, and make sure that only goes in one way, so make sure that goes in properly or else the button's not going to work right. It goes in that little slot. It's like a U-shaped. Okay, now let's go ahead and put it all back together. Make sure all this is lined up right. And you'll feel the buttons like fall into place. Just like that. It lines up like that. So you can't slide it back and forth. I'm putting my thumb down and trying to slide it left and right, and it doesn't slide. That's how you know you got it. Put this right here where the pin is, like that. Push down, and make sure it all fits with even with the buttons. This is now putting it back together is kind of a pain in the ass. So what you want to do is you want to set it down like so right here. Okay. Next thing you want to do is you want to take these annoying pieces right here and you want to set them in there first, like that and like that. Alright, so now that they're both set in there, like there and there, then you want to slowly line up the control sticks so they fall into the hole. See that? Just right there. So don't force anything or else you're going to break it worse than it is. Alright. And it should go in just about right there. Something's holding it up. Great. There we go. Got it. And make sure it's flush all the way around. If you see any gaps, then it might cause an issue. Make sure all the buttons work before you put all the Also, make sure these prongs right here are clean, and if one of the prongs is missing or bent, Sometimes you can take needle nose pliers right here and bend them back out. Same thing goes for this. If you're getting loose contacts on your battery, you can just take needle nose pliers and then bend it out to give the spring more tension. But make sure you don't break the spring from the inside. Make sure all the buttons work before you put the rest back in. Alright, so from this point on, you want to resync it because it might be out of sync. Just hit that sync button and hit the sync button on the front panel of the Xbox 360 and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching. Post a comment and subscribe to Tampa Tech.